Hello and welcome to Inside Business, making headlines. Markets continue to reflect negative global sentiment on economic growth. Survey reveals Middle East companies lacking risk management policies. And we speak to the CEO of the Barakat Group to discover why competition is heating up in the fruit juice industry. Global stock markets continue to decline this Thursday amid growing concerns about global economic growth. Asian stocks fell to a near three-week low this morning as GCC and UAE markets also dipped in trading today. The DFM was down nearly 0.75% to close at 1,472 points. MR Properties declined nearly 0.5%, while shares at Arab Tech fell 2%. Shares at DP World were also down nearly 3% today. 47 million shares were traded, valued at 60 million dirhams. Turning to Abu Dhabi, where the ADX fell by 1% to close at 2,471 points. Banking stocks fell. The National Bank of Abu Dhabi dropped 4%, while the Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank was down over 2%. Real estate stocks continue to decline, with Aldar Properties losing 3%, while Saru Real Estate fell 2.5%. 44 million shares were traded in total, valued at 84 million dirhams. To further discuss global sentiment in the markets for the coming days, we're now joined by financial analyst Bruce Powers. Welcome to the show, Bruce. Good to see you as always.
Thank you very much.
Now, markets across the globe took a hit this Wednesday with a similar trend today. What US economic data do we need to watch for this week? There's a host of reports that are scheduled for Friday.
Well, we saw a big sell-off on Wednesday as a delayed reaction to the Fed news from the previous day, with the Standard & Poor's 500 index closing below its 200-period moving average for the first time in a couple weeks. This is an indicator of the long-term trend. Investors are reflecting their increased uncertainty in the economy, and we have two reports coming out tomorrow that will be watched closely. One is the Consumer Price Index, which is a measure of inflation, and two is retail sales, which is a measure of consumer spending, which is approximately 70% of the economy. Both were negative in June, are expected to be positive in July, with the Consumer Price Index expected to come in at 0.2% and retail sales at 0.5%.
So still looking fairly volatile. Now, markets in the GCC, including the UAE, have been feeling the heat too. In Abu Dhabi, what can we expect from property and energy stocks?
Well, it's important to recognize that on Wednesday we saw the general index break through support of the past few months on a big surge in volume, indicating that there's further declines to come. That's going to impact the real estate sector, which also broke through long-term support created back in early 2009, and we'll likely see further declines there. If we looked at the three stocks in that sector, Saru, RAC Properties, and Aldar, they've all been on a steady decline, particularly Aldar, which has been declining more steadily than the other two. Aldar could find short-term support at its low from 2009, which is not yet broke. In regards to the energy sector, we have Abar Investments being delisted, so that just leaves Dana Gas. Dana Gas hit support last week, could not break through, has been declining this week. We could see a pop back up towards that level, but we're likely to see further declines thereafter.
Yes, some concerning news for the country's property market, not helped by the new supply that continues to flood the market. Thanks for your time, Bruce. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
A survey comparing companies in the UK and Middle East has shown that over 40% of Middle Eastern respondents do not have a risk management policy in place, as opposed to just 26.5% in the UK. A study conducted across 4,000 companies by the UAE-based Collaboration Management and Control Solution Organisation focused mainly on project-based construction firms and analysed the importance given to risk management as a tool for business success. Of those companies that do have policies in place, 59% implement and adhere to the procedures. Although the survey indicated an improvement, it also highlighted the much-needed development in risk management strategies across this region.
The construction industry in general, whether it's in the Gulf or even international, tend to be the least one to take care or to add this risk management in a proper way. And the Gulf region is no different. And for the The reason for that, you can say that projects are based on the future. There's so many unknowns. If they start adopting standard policies for risk management, then they become better aware about what risk could affect their project. I mean, and whenever I say what risk affect the project, those risks could have negative impacts in terms of additional cost, delays in the project. So when they put a process for identifying those risks, assessing their impact, and developing what we call response plans for those risks, then they can better manage those risks on the project, mitigate their negative effects.
And in our fast financial news, Dubai saw a 0.4% slowdown in inflation for July as rent costs continued to decline. Prices for the housing and energy fell by 0.1% month on month, while consumer prices rose by the same percentage. And the rate of unemployment among UAE nationals stood at just 14% in 2009, although Emiratis accounted for 1/5 of the country's population. The Ministry of Economy figures reveal that those holding secondary school certificates had the highest joblessness rate at 6.1%. Well, most of the Gulf markets ended in the red today. Let's get some official figures now, starting off with the UAE general indexes. Coming up now, we'll take a look at the major international currencies against the dirham, followed by the price of oil and the precious metals. On the way after the break, we speak with the CEO of the Barakat Group of companies about how the fresh fruit and juice sector has been hit by a slowdown in the hospitality industry. That's when Inside Business continues. Stay with us.